So I've had the TT for a very, very long time. I actually bought it just shy of turning 20 back in 2010. I actually didn't even know what I was buying. It was my first car and it was a single owner, so it was in really good condition. It had 96,000 miles. At that time, I had never turned a wrench for myself. I had never done any maintenance on any kind of cars. For all intents and purposes, I was completely green. So within the first 4 years of ownership, I did a lot of research figuring out what I wanted to do with the car, how to do it, what I needed, and I just very slowly started modifying it. Really basic things that were really good stepping stones to taking it to the next level. I worked my way up to learning how to do my own timing belt, did some motor mounts. With the help of a few friends, we lowered it. I had a bunch of bolt-ons, aftermarket exhaust, and I had a really basic tune on it. And that's when it really started to hit me. The car was really taking shape and looking a lot more like something that I really wanted to build. I was doing a lot of research on how to make more power, just learning what that all entailed, how you come up with the kind of power figures that you want to obtain. I wanted to build something that was daily drivable, something that I could drive cross-country, go on road trips, things like that. Something that I could drive to the track, do my events, drive it back home, and then just go back to work the next day. So 200,000 miles and 4 years later, I felt very confident in all of the research that I had done and all the parts that I collected, that I had an engine and an overall setup that I was very confident was going to do what I wanted it to do. I had purchased a completely second block to build while I still daily drove the TT. I sent that block out to get machined. I effectively wanted to reset all of the surfaces down to zero. All that means is I had 20 thousandths of an inch or 0.5 millimeters shaved off of the cylinder bores. That wasn't necessarily done for performance so much as it was to get a straight and true cylinder bore. I had the crank journals polished, those were all in spec. The bottom end is fully built. I put aftermarket main and rod bearings, aftermarket scat rods, and appropriately oversized Y-cycle pistons. Machining aside, I did all of this in my then roommate's laundry room. After assembling the bottom end though, I took it out into the garage and I put the rest of the parts that I had collected onto the setup. The cylinder head for the most part remained mostly stock. All of the parts could handle it except for the exhaust valves. So I got in-canal exhaust valves. Those are otherwise sodium filled. They don't do well with heat, high EGTs, things like that. Otherwise, everything else was new OEM. The rest of the setup consisted of a force-fed engineering exhaust manifold, a Garrett GTX 2867 Gen 1 at the time, pushing about 28 pounds, 630cc injectors, and integrated engineering intake manifold, and all of the odds and ends supporting mods to make that all happen. And in about 2 weeks, I had completely removed the stock engine and put in the engine that I had built for it. Since then, I just grew to trust the car more and more and get a little more aggressive with it. I was driving it to and from work every single day. I started autocrossing the car and have since then driven the car cross country without a single hiccup. The car has ever only been on a flatbed once, and that was because of a flat tire. The car has since been turnkey and it's never left me stranded. And that's something that I'm really, really proud of. Since then, I've done a budget big brake kit. I've swapped out the suspension from the original suspension setup that I had. And I've done a few odds and ends to really just elevate the car. And now it's been a couple of years and I haven't really done anything substantial with the car. I kind of feel that after I did all of those things, I kind of fell into a what now? I've been wanting to get back to the track. I've been wanting to really just polish things up, but for the most part, I've just kind of been in maintenance mode. And I've really just been keeping it reliable rather than continuing to modify it. I've even let it go cosmetically. I mean, anybody that knows me and has seen the car in person, it has effectively looked the same for many, many, many years. I've got a cracked windshield. I have some body work that I never took care of. The bumper is still primed and doesn't have a grill. So the setup as it sits today is largely the same one that I built back in 2014, which has more or less left me a little bummed out. But I think where that really leaves us is where we're going next. And I think to appropriately convey where we're gonna go from here and what my next set of goals are, let's head back to the garage and I'll show you guys a couple things. Before we get too deep into this next part, I should probably make it pretty clear that despite the car having been as reliable as it hasn't been without its setbacks. The setbacks that I've had are not things that I would attribute to, say, like the reliability of the setup that we put together, but it would be quick and dirty temporary workarounds that failed for that exact reason. Or things that are my own doing. Like for example, back in 2016, I ran over a 3-ball hitch in the middle of a county road, completely destroyed my transmission, and it actually put me down for about 2 years. It was expensive, there was a decent amount of damage, and I just had to recover. It's just the amount of time that it took. So I guess we can come full circle and ask, what's the point? Why do all of this? Personally, I like purpose, I like intention. I don't necessarily like to just do something arbitrarily. I like to have a reason and a function to what we're doing. And as someone who really likes to challenge themselves, I like to learn new skills. I like to figure out how things work. I figured what better way to do all of that than to build this thing for Time Attack. So I have mentioned it in the past, I have talked about it, but I've never really gone anywhere with it. A lot of it has just been, it's expensive. There are a lot of things that kind of need to happen, like with safety devices, things like that. Like the car has to get a complete overhaul. So that's what we're gonna do. That is the next phase of where I want to take this and how I want to challenge myself. There's going to be a whole lot of fabricating. I bought myself a welder. I'm going to learn how to weld. I bought a standalone for this thing, so we're going to tune it from top to bottom. And I have a collection of parts that, instead of just talking about, let's go to the bench and I'll show you. So let's get the obvious right out of the way. This is obviously going to be a lot of work, but let's be real, that's going to be the fun part. And that's really going to be most of the content, is showing you what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what I learn, whether it's through failing. Hopefully I don't blow it up right away, since like I said, I will be tuning it myself. And through our successes and what we do. Like I said, I don't just want to build the car to build it. I want to build the car to use it. And I hope that I can bring value in that. I don't just want to be a good builder, but I also want to become a good driver. So this thing will see a lot of track time, hopefully, but there is, of course, like I said, a lot that needs to be done. So the current spec in mind that I'm trying to shoot for is I want this car to make 750 horsepower. That is going to be a stretch with what I currently have, primarily with the injectors. I will probably top out the injectors before I hit that power goal. But other than that, I mean, I'm just gonna have to see what gives out first and what we're gonna have to do. I gotta do a lot of suspension work to this thing as well. The rear end is still, for the most part, pretty much stock in terms of the bushings and things like that. So I have a pair of upper control arms I still have to throw into it, and then replacing literally all the bushings. So at a later date, I will be removing the entire rear end and we'll be refreshing that. And I do need to do some of the bushings up here up front too, which I might take care of when the engine comes out. So that's what you can expect with what's coming next. I think from here, I'm gonna pull the engine out. There's really not much more for me to wait on for us to be able to go ahead and get started. Of course, we're gonna run into some bits and pieces here that we're gonna need, but that'll be just kind of as we move along the process as it naturally goes. And the target is to build something that is competitive in the Grid Life Street Mod class. So I have an allowance for aero, like I said, the power goals, that is kind of what's recommended for the class to be competitive. And of course, like I said, it's gonna require a good driver on my part as well too. So there's all of that to look forward to. So to really challenge myself and really tie this vision together, I have created something for myself that I really want to achieve. And it might be a little bit of a bold statement and it's gonna be a little corny, but I've decided to build something that I'm calling the Mk1 TT Quattro evolution. You've seen where this thing is at, so we've got a lot of work to do.